Good day, sir. My name is Arvin Bayabaya, and I'm second student from Section N1. And this is my final requirements on Ethics N1. I am going to answer the two questions. The first question is, are you an ethical person? At first, I was wondering what was an ethical person is. That's why I searched the meaning of ethical person. And I asked myself, am I an ethical person? My answer is yes. I am an ethical person because I build some principles that used to strive myself to be considered as an ethical person. But not all can have the qualities of being an ethical person. To myself, I am always conscious of not wanting to hurt others in words and in action. We should be aware of this because each one of us has a different feelings. I can also say that I can contribute for the betterment of other people who is around me. I considered how I want to be remembered at the end of my life. And sometimes I act the way I would want others to act me. And lastly, I admit my mistake and move on. We have to be brave to forgive and also to forget. Because for me, being an ethical person, I stay away from toxicity and move forward with my life by forgiving and forgetting the matters and do good to myself. And also, being ethical person, it requires a long-term commitment to act in accordance with certain virtues, including honesty, trustworthiness, integrity, fairness, and diligence. And to be responsible enough and accountable for one's action. Ethics is not something you can turn or off like a spigot. It takes practice and it develops as a habit by doing it over and over again. One way to think about it is my actions affect others. Then I have an ethical issue. Ethical people should consider the consequences of their actions before deciding what to do. Because if you don't spot the ethical issue earlier on, it becomes much more difficult to do the right thing down the line. Because you may already be implicitly involved in a cover-up, so you've taken the first step down the proverbial. If we think also about the meaning of being an ethical person, there are others say that to be ethical means that is a person who or can even recognize an identity what is right and wrong, and who always follows what he or she thinks is right. This is what other people may think about. But based on my own opinion, I believe that an ethical person is someone who follows the laws because there are others didn't follow. They have their own decisions. When we say ethical person, this is the kind of person that is who have an ethical principles always, and someone who always chooses what he has always been right, but they only based on standards principles. And also the idea of an ethical person is being someone who understands the difference between the right and wrong. It can be a good definition, but I think that is not always the case, since people tend to regard something as right when it is not the right thing to do at all.